agreed to Yinsen's job. After that, Dong and I spent a night at Yinsen's inn. The next morning, I tidied up my attire, wiped down my sword, and shit it. Before we hit the road, Yinsen got us 2 pack horses for the journey. Can't ride them, but they're perfect for carrying stuffs. To avoid checks on main roads, we'll take lots of mountain paths. These trails aren't good for wagons, but pack horses will work. The inn was in a remote spot and very few people were around, especially in the early morning. Tang and I stood by the inn, estimating how much time our job would take and planning what stuffs to bring along.
化州到洛阳路途600里，哪怕日行50里，也要走半个月。
Can't recon it that way, but the little lambs were looking at a max of 20 miles a day. Taking detours extends the overall journey.
那就要备30日的干粮和水。现在各处闹饥荒，这么多粮又得花不少钱。
Pack light for now, but provisions on the road. Head east, fewer folks fleeing, cheaper grub.
行，要是我们到时候困在山里，实在饿极了，就吃个小洋葱鸡。
Tang grinned and cracked the joke. I just shrugged it off and didn't say anything. Time to roll, I fetched them. I tossed a quick word to Tang, grabbed my dagger, and headed straight into the inn to call the lambs. I woke up the little lambs and took them outside. 3 had ropes around their waists tied together. The mute one without a rope bounced around strangely.
你说要不要把那个小哑巴也一起绑了？虽然尹三说他是自愿去的，不用担心会逃，可他这样能撒丫子跑，我不放心。
Yeah, makes sense. I nodded, went to the saddle and found a rope in the bag. I connected a new rope to the thread lambs, tied a knot, and then went over to the mute girl with another end of the new rope. Oh, now she's sad. The mute girl surely caught wind of our talk. She picked at me and turned away. Without looking directly, she stood tall, arms raised on both sides. I didn't say anything, just stood behind her, head down. I took the rope, looped it twice around her waist, and tied a knot at her back. As I wrapped the rope, I could feel how skinny she was. The rope around her waist was only half an arm's length. What? 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 So thin. What? Arm's length? Half of arm's length? After that, I double-checked the ropes on the little lambs and tied the ropes to the end of the pack horse. These knots were really tight, and unless they had something sharp, it'd be tough for them to untie. Even if they tried to cut the ropes, it would take time. Tang and I kept watch, making it tricky for the lambs to get a chance. When I tied the rope around the mute girl's waist, she went along with it, didn't put up a fight at all. Did it seem as sensible as Shin-san said?
喂，小崽子们，都听好了啊！我这一路上，你们叫我星爷，叫他梁爷。我们要走1-2个月，为的是把你们送去能吃饱喝足的地方。我们出城后一直向东走，走的路大多都是山路，每日走的不多，日行20里便可。粮食我都备齐了，今后我们一天吃2顿，午时1顿，傍晚1顿。这2顿多吃点儿，别的时候不许喊饿。走路时不许交头接耳，不许哭闹，违者罚粮1天。
Can't even talk, come on. For months now I've been talking.
跑啊！跑者鞭笞数百，打死后还要被我活剥生吃。
Ew. Tang, all red-faced and loud, introduced himself to the little lambs and said his rules. While he talked, he pulled out a piece of thorny vine from his bag and waved it in the air, showing it to the lambs. The young lambs couldn't hide their feelings well at that. When they heard about a place with lots of drinks their eyes got big. But when they heard about I'll strip your skin and have a feast, they all got scared and huddled up. Especially that refined lamb named Xianghua. When Tang waved the thorny vine, she got so scared her legs shook, almost falling down. Oh, she had trauma. Are you proud, scary little girls? Oh my gosh. Tang always liked seeing the lamb scared because of him. He glanced at the frightened Xinghua, a playful smile on his face. Don't dawdle. Time to go. I told Tang not to overdo it and pay attention to the time.
行，出发吧。
Tang turned around and yelled at the lambs once more. Shout made the lambs shiver. Chuckled, licked his lip, and led the way forward. So here we go to the road, and we followed Jin's chosen path to leave the city. Outside, we headed east along planned route. Steer clear of the main road, we had to go through the foothills of Erhua Mountain. First, we crossed the Shaohua Mountain and then Hashua, and after that, we reached Dongguan, where Yisan had set up a place for us to stay. The mountain roads were tough, taking 4 to 8 days. Tang and I knew this part around Erhua Mountain well, dodging bandits, but we must watch out for the wild beasts in the mountains. Can't be too careless. We walked through Shaohua Mountain, no one talking as we went along. All we saw were endless trees, dirt, and rocks. All we heard were hooves, bugs, and footsteps. All about an hour, Tang suddenly started talking to me. Hey, no talking! I'll skin off you.
呀，你知道群大虫吗？
A herd of tigers.
哦，你不知道啊？群大虫就是成群的大虫，寻常时候大虫都是独来独往。前些年陕北闹饥荒，很多人向东逃难，都逃到了一些山区里，被大虫吃了。
What?
大虫吃人多了，生崽也多，过2年就都是成群的大虫了。
Okay.
哎，亮，你说，若来了10几头大虫，我们还有命不？
I'll push you first. Know that. Doubt it.
那不一定。我们手中有刀啊！啊，如果见到大虫，我就挥刀斩了小羊们，放出一堆血来。
You're so not so adult.
大虫见着血肉，定不会去咬我们这些持刀的啊，会冲上去分食小羊。那时我们便可逃了啊！
Hey, you give me an idea, I'll do it to you. Tang burst into laughter, cranking up his voice in the last 2 words. I knew he was doing it on purpose, trying to let the lambs behind us hear. You seem to enjoy frightening these lambs, huh? Is that fun? A cold remark at Tang. Oh,
肯定有趣儿啊！
for sure it's fun. Tang chuckled, dagger slung over his shoulder, moving forward. He glanced back at the lambs. 3 of them were scared, quite by Tang's words. The mute one just lowered her head, lost in thought. She's not afraid of tigers. Around noon, after walking for about 4 hours, we took a break for half an hour. Tang had some grub first, then said he wanted a quick nap and doze off against a tree. I'll call the lions! After that, I handed out food to the lambs, giving each one a bit, dry grub, and half pot of water. The hungry lambs quickly started munching on the dry grub and shared the water. I munched on my own grub. I kept an eye on them. The 2 dark-skinned lambs, Hunger and Cure, if I remember it right, ate pretty fast and finished quickly. My Hunger, the older sister, and she looks after her younger sister, giving her more water. She only took a tiny sip herself. The well-bred girl who snatched was still kinda scared. She took the grub really carefully, eyes wide open, like she thought I might stab her while they were grabbing a bite. She's traumatized, really traumatized. Surprisingly, even though she's kidnapped niece, she didn't complain about the grab and finish it all. Not sure if Yinsan did a good job training her after the snatch, or she just figured out how things are now. While eating, her eyes got teary and figured she's thinking about something. Heard it is easier for poor folks to handle a rich life, but rich folks struggling in poverty, that's a tough deal. Probably hits lamb like her hard. Yeah, besides watching those 3 lambs, I also kept an eye on the mute girl. She chowed down on her grub, eating really quick. Looking away for a sec, she polished off everything like she hasn't eaten in forever.
梁爷。
Hmm? While I was watching the mute girl lumps by suddenly reached my ears. A sister named Hunger lifted her arm, shyly calling me, not quite used to saying my name. Yo, what's up? I stood up, furrowing my brow, and asked her.
要来抽抽，别的不行了。
Oh, sure. Hunger told me a bit awkwardly, turned to look at her younger sister. Hunched over holding her legs, just like Hunger said. Eat, drink, pee, poop, just like Pauls who have been on the road for a while. And these little lambs probably needed a break. Yeah. Go over there and do your thing. Since Tang didn't cover the rules about relieving themselves, they might have been holding it until now. Oh yeah. Because he's just bullying them. Sure, if anyone needs to go, just do it right here. I look at them and casually let them know how I handle this matter.
梁爷，不行。
Can't? Why not? The lamb's called Xianghua seems uneasy about my suggestion to do it right here. She looked at me awkwardly and then glanced nervously at Tang, who was resting under a nearby tree. Her eyes showed her worry and discomfort. Come on there, girls. Look, like, just behind the tree will be fine. While I wasn't entirely sure of her thoughts, I could guess. Maybe she was concerned that if Tang was woke up and saw them relieving himself nearby, he might find reasons to punish them. That's so nonsense. Or she might be hinting that being the only girl among guys, she didn't want to do it in front of Mills. I leaned more towards the first one. After all, these young kids are still a few years away from being adults. Such concerns shouldn't bother them. Alright, follow me with these ropes. I'll head to the spot behind those trees. Line up and take care of it there. I shared the plan and went to the pack horse, undoing the tied ropes. Holding the ropes, guiding each lamb, like walking a dog's. Past the sleeping Tang toward the cluster of trees a bit away. I led the lambs for a break. When they came back, Tang was still asleep. The lambs took a short nap, stayed away, keeping an eye on them and the surroundings. Afternoon resumed our journey. We walked for 2 or 3 hours at the foot of Shoha Mountain. Thankfully, we didn't run into any beasts or so-called herd of tigers, Tang said. Few were stumbled along the way, almost falling. Luckily, the rope tied around her waist and being close to her sister kept her from hitting the ground. The moon shining bright, stars filling the sky. Soft clouds moved slowly, bugs making a racket. Night made it hard to see. So we decided to find a campsite at dusk, resting until dawn before hitting the road again. We've been through these mountains a lot, found a good mountain lake for camp at dusk settled in. The lake was good for water and washing, and the conditions were decent. Tang handled the camping, and I made a fire. Then loaded the tools from the pack horse, gathered some dry straw nearby, and set up makeshift bedding. I grabbed a bundle of firewood and took out the fire starting tools from the stuffs. With a fire striker in one hand, a piece of flint in other, I struck the flint hard, producing sparks. Swiftly bringing the flint near the tinder. After a few attempts, the flame finally caught on tinder. The flame quickly spread among the tinder to the firewood, forming a blazing campfire. Oh, that's so good. Campfires serve as a warming for nearby beasts and provide us light and warmth. The youngest Cower happily sat down and got close to the blazing fire. She reached out her hands to feel the warmth of the campfire. Hey, Cower, do this. The other lambs first checked our expression, making sure we weren't mad, and then they also gathered around the campfire.
娘，你还真能搭伙呀！我记得你不是怕火吗？
No problem. Just done with his work, Tang joined us by the campfire. He brought up an old story. Well, I used to be scared of fire due to past memories of a disaster. Scared before, not now.
那是好事儿啊！本来想着你怕火，下次杀人放火，我都不愿带着你。
Tang scared the lambs with his words again, but I didn't feel like continuing the talk. And honestly, when you have to deal with someone, you don't need to resort to arson.
妈的，累死了！要不是怕这些小羊跑了，就该让他们去给咱们拾柴火、铺床铺。
You complain a lot.
中午我休息过了啊，你先睡2个时辰吧。2个时辰后你给我换班。
You complain a lot and I need to stick up with you for a month. Oh my gosh, this is the first day. Alright. I nodded and settled down by the campfire. Okay, let's take a nap. A gentle breeze passed by, making the campfire flames sway like a torn red ribbons in the air. The fire's glow revealed the faces of the lamps who remained still, perhaps fearing punishment. Yet their shadows had already adjusted to the surroundings. With the flickering firelight, those shadows danced freely, and crackling of the burning wood added a lively tune to their performance. The scene in front of me brought back memories of the shadow plays I enjoyed during my childhood. Feeling a bit drowsy while lost in thoughts of shadow play, I ended up tossing off. Guess I'll take a nap. With Sang watching over the lamps, no need to fret. Yeah, I doubt that. Slightly on edge, I crouched the dagger and dozed off. My gaze fixed on the dancing flames, succumbing to the weight of my eyelids, gradually slipping to dreams. Okay. Let's sleep. Oh, I already need to wake up. Frank's voice echoed in my ears. Come on, I just closed my eyes. I slowly opened my eyes. Huh? Did 4 hours fly by ahead already? Yes, that short nap didn't do much. Honestly, I felt more worn out now. 4 hours passed, as long as I got up.
柴火烧了2捆，差不多2个时辰了。
Okay. The lamps okay?
都睡了。
Thanks gestured at the nearby beds. Lamps rested by the fire, curing hunger together, Kyung and the mute girl on the separate beds. Ropes around their waists kept them in place. Okay, I'll take over the shift. I nodded, gesturing to Tang. Decided to stand up for a quick stretch to refresh himself. Tang saw me stand up. Then he found a bed lying down. Oh, you sleep so fast. And you're so noisy, oh, by the gods. He does up fast and soon enough, I heard his snoring. I was just waiting for the sun to rise. Quite a tough gig. 4 hours of sleep daily for several dozen of days. So those lamps probably had it better than us. On the way, they could sleep for 8 hours. Once we reach our destination, they might get sold to the fancy ship. Not that good though. If luck was on their side, chosen by a fancy one, they might have been adopted like daughters. Oh, so that's a possibility? Even if luck wasn't on their side, becoming servants of maids in these chaotic times is still better than being refugees and bandits like us, right? Oh, so it's really like 1630s. Not that I know about the year. Thinking about it this way, that job might have actually been a good thing. Thunk! While lost in my thoughts, a sudden noise caught up my attention. It returned to its origin. In the dancing firelight, a lamp rose to its feet. It was Little Mute. Why are you up? Asked Little Mute coldly. Of course she won't say anything. Stupid me asking. No words she couldn't. Hungry. Ask again. Shook her head. Need to pee? She nodded. Okay. Pee. I frowned. In the middle of the night. Such a bad habit. I know, right? She needed to pee, but it was tricky. The rope tied to her other lamps, going cold, disturbed their sleep, or bothered them. Going nearby might not have been a big deal, as it could have gotten smelly if she did it. Then, she might repeated it when I was asleep. Alright, I'll untie you for now and lead you to the lakeside to feed. Just be good and don't do anything extra. The Little Mute in the detached stone. She nodded obediently. Russell. I moved behind her, carefully looking for the nuts. And after a bit of effort, I finally undid the rope for her. Follow me. I went to the fire, grabbed an unburned stick, lit in a torch, and continued forward. Little Mute followed behind me. Kept a grip on my robe, following closely to stay on track. And she kept stumbling into my back, using it to stay steady. We walked over dry branches and fallen leaves, pushed aside the foliage, blocking our way. Finally stepped onto the soft soil. Oh, that's a good lake. We reached the lakeside. Tall reeds bordered the lake. The ground was damp and seemed like a good spot to take care of business. Taking care of business. A good spot to go. Said the little mute, pointing to the nearby reeds. A little mute nodded and went over. She crouched down, tried to untie her belt, and then stood up again. She looked at me, a bit embarrassed. Well, it seems like she's shy. Preferred some privacy. Fair enough. Seems smart. I respected her wishes. Turned around to give her some privacy. After a bit, I heard a rustling sound. She's undoing her pants, doing it slowly, maybe a bit hesitant. Perhaps worried I might turn around and catch a glimpse. And you did, right? A 9-year-old can think a lot. When I was 9, did I care about these people around me when I peed? Oh, yeah, that might be true. Ooh. What happened? Suddenly a chilly breeze swept over my neck. Tap, tap. Quick rhythmic footsteps echoed from behind. Someone was running right behind me. Little mute! Oh no. I spun around. The shiny dagger flashed in the moonlight. In her hand, a small dagger glimmered and she pressed it upward, aiming at my throat. Ooh, foo-foo! Her hair fluttered in the breeze, and beneath those strands I saw a pair of eyes filled with deadly intent. Where did she get the dagger? Why did she want me to die? My mind went blank, beads of sweat forming on my forehead. Her sudden attack caught me off guard. What should I do? What's not tackle? Like this? Lock? Step back fast, I think. Should I step back fast? Wait to let me save, okay? Give me the chance to save. No, I will just step back, like dodge. Step back. Oh, I shouted out! Not to dodge the dagger. Oh, okay. I'm the one who's going to step back. No time to think, just retreat. But then a problem. I slip in my rush, wet ground by the leg. Am I going to die? Unable to stand firm, my body suddenly lost balance, tilting backward. Damn it! It's over. Cursed silently, I fell backward. Oh, I died. Oh, I died! Oh my gosh! Why you can't dodge? That's what I'm going to ask you. Why can't you dodge? Not like I can dodge, but you're a professional, right? Two clear sounds. Me hitting the ground and her dagger through my throat. Goof! I stared at her, my killer, little mute. She put all her strength into the dagger, splitting my throat. Couldn't see her face, but those gritted teeth told me she gave it her all. Must have used every ounce of her strength to take me down. Blood gushed from my neck, tried to break free, but with my throat like this, it was useless. Little mute, why did she kill me? No shies. No answer. Death's grip spread, draining my strength and warmth. With questions unanswered, closed my eyes and embraced death. Ending. Died halfway. Come on, it's not even halfway. Ending, killed by the cat. Never turn your back on a feline. It's a good thing that I save, right? It's a good thing that I save. Like, why? It's stupid. He can't touch properly.